Technology. I feel like I'm super close to you guys. Hi, hello. Teresa Phelps Martin here, hanging out in her home with my parents being here, my daughter's here, and spring is coming. And rain is coming, and there's just a dreamy energy in the air, which is why I'm going to share a practice that can help us believe. Hello, Hope. You guys, if you have any requests, let me know. You probably saw the water drops, so we will be in our psoas, we will be in our hips. We are also in Pisces moon and sun energy, which means we're going to be very fluid today. Kind of a slower sort of pluff, muddy fluidness, if you will. Hopefully it won't stink. But this ability to breathe into the crevices and believe in the energy that runs through us, to believe in the future that is bright and brilliant and honoring. So yes, of course, all my classes are a little bit of a to be continued. There's a continuation of our own evolvement, and we can continue to evolve if we believe in the ways that we're nourishing ourselves. I had the privilege last night to sit in the company of 6 or 7 brave and fierce women who are entrepreneurs or taking that leap to be entrepreneurs. I know, big new. It's fertile, by the way. This, and I didn't talk about the moon at all with them, which was funny. But this new moon is very fertile. It's a chance to plant the seeds and know they're being nourished and coming alive. But I got to sit in the company of women, obviously virtually, and share a presentation called Leading with Soul. And it was just really beautiful, and I'm still on the high of that. So because of that, we are gonna start seated, and let's just go for it. If nobody has any requests, so let's make it happen. We're gonna start with a simple meditation, just to clear, center, ground, and awaken. And then we will move. We will do the inner thighs, we will do core, we will do outer hips, and low back. We will open the heart, but in very kind of soft, more diva-like ways, more feminine, more Shakti, that creative energy of embodiment. And I want to remind you that when we work with the elements of the heavens to guide our practice, what we're doing is really tending to the foundation of our lives so that we can build into the dreams of our heart and soul, that we can lead from this inner essence and believe in our own potential. Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you're not willing to love on yourself, if you're not willing to see the big bright version of yourself, you can't complain. You're not allowed to complain. Because yes, some of us have pain, and that pain is chronic, which is the limitation of time, but we all have the invitation to tap into and call on our fairy godmother. Just kidding. But there's that springtime is that sense of renewal, and there's rain, it's like washing away the intensity. We're still in a pandemic. However, we kind of know we're not all of a sudden in the shock of it, that we're excited to be outside again and find new ways of being, but still being present to our needs. Okay, so let's start seated, simple meditation. And I'm gonna face you all long ways on my mat. And we're gonna be long ways on the mat for a little while. So if you wanna orient yourself, you can, but enjoy, all right? As always, we call on the highest, and we're here to bring forward the highest good, harm to none. So sit in a seat that is supportive for you. I'm going to use my blocks. My daughter clearly hid behind plants. You want to sit in a way that you feel supported, not the way I'm sitting, but the way you feel supported. Sit on the sacred ground of your yoga mat, in the space, in the container that you're allowing for yourself to draw inward. And so as the eyes close, soften the forehead, move your awareness inward, ground into the earth, into that sacred ground, your sanctuary, wherever it is you're participating, and then move inward to the sanctuary of your heart, breathing into the back part of the lungs, the back part of the chest, leaning into that universal support, leaning into a knowing that our foundation and the structure and the way that we live and engage is still in transition, but that we can believe in that brighter future even just in the next 5 breaths. So allow for the breath to cycle, and as you're breathing, just follow the flow of the inhale to the exhale to the inhale. Seeing your inner self being nourished and cared for. Seeing that even though there are areas within your own physical container that are limited or tight or reminding you of your human embodiment, that you can breathe through the fog and the fuzz and invite in that higher energy and that higher essence and that higher light, your higher self. And then you're going to bring your awareness all the way down into your pelvis and into your hips. And releasing the tension that's there. Notice if your energy is moving up. Can you allow yourself to settle down? Can you yield into the fertile ground of your own life? And just see the roots of your essence grounding into that soil and into that earth. Expanding, drinking up the nectar, the energy, the vitality that nourishes. And as you feel grounded, stay settled. Feel just honestly envision the nutrients of the earth rising up through your roots and into your body. And then bring your awareness up into the heavens, into the astral plane, and bringing down that light, whatever color it is. Don't choose, just allow it to come, but do choose the energy it's bringing, that is that pure, divine, supportive, loving, kind, compassionate energy. Welcome it down and in through the crown and through your throat and through your heart and into your belly and into your roots, dancing with that nourishment of the soil. And then let it just move and ripple through your whole being. And breathing here for just 1 minute and just feeling the connection to this life and to your soul and believing in the path that you are navigating and the brilliance that sits before you. And as you're with your breath, listening to the body, and rather than judging it or thinking about it, just let your head sway from side to side. You can make little circles with the head if you like. Be mindful of your neck. Stay long through the spine. And just feeling that circular movement is so powerful for the body. It helps with the synovial fluid and our sweet joints that like to dry out and get caught up with the junk that's unnecessary. And just let your rib cage sway from side to side so you can feel yourself rocking from sit bone to sit bone. You can rock forward and backward as well, which is actually more nourishing for the body than the side to side, believe it or not. The forward and backward is actually the energy we felt in the womb of our mother's body and being that adored us and loved us unconditionally. It's that energy that has called us forward into this moment, believing in your strength, believing in your grace, calling in whatever beliefs that support you, and allow the head to bow down. Feel even a little wiggle in your toes and just that connection to that greater sense of support of the unseen energy that's holding you and guiding you and allowing your dreams to come true because you believe in them. Not so much the outcome, but the opportunity and the potential. Allow the head to bow, allow the palms to turn upward, feel the warmth of your own energy, of your own hands, and then slowly open your eyes, looking into the palms of your own two hands. And just receiving more of that light, let the hands come together in front of your heart, and just know that that potentiality is what has guided us through these moments and will continue to move us. So let's move. You're going to move off out of your cross-legged pose. Your feet are going to be in that little mini pigeon movement, and you're just going to feel that movement still. Turning that left thigh bone in, pulling into the belly, and then letting the tail get heavy, the sit bone. This knee may come up. Inhale, the legs turning in, maybe even rotating the belly a little bit. The tail's tucking, you're wrapping back, okay? So as you feel a little fluid and a little dramatic, I want you to then isolate the movement more just into your hip socket, okay? And as you isolate the movement into your hip socket, the turning and the swirling, that you can feel that energy into your core as well. And then we're going to turn the thigh bone in, pull into the belly, and instead of folding over our knee, we're going to turn all the way. So we're starting with a pretty powerful twist. So we can release, the belly's in, feel this side of your waist widening, elbows to your thighs, elbows onto the earth. Draw into the belly, soften the heart, let the head be free, but continue to lift into the core so the back body is supported. Deep, full breath in, deep, full breath out. Feel the intensity, maybe, maybe not, or also just yield into the simplicity. Exhale all the way out. You're going to stretch that left leg out long. Bring the hands in under your shoulders. As that left leg's out long, lift the hips up, stretch the arm by your ear. Full breath in, and then exhale the hips down. Bring your knees to the center and sweep them over to the other side. Maybe it looked diva-ish, maybe it didn't, it doesn't matter. Come back to that inner energy. And again, be a little extra dramatic here. Okay, so it's a little bit like a cat-cow. The heart's moving, the tail's tipping, right? You're feeling that whole body into the fluidness, which is really not helpful if you're already out in the cosmos somewhere, but is really helpful when you feel stuck, uncertain, confused, in grief, in loss, and just that real confusion that it just helps you get out of that intellect and more into that soul. And then we're gonna stop the rocking. You might feel dizzy, so be aware of that. And then just isolate. Turning the thigh in, draw into the belly, the thigh bone's moving back. So you're really thinking of just the head of the femur bone, this acetipulum moving in the bowl of the pelvis. That we're getting into the depths of the tension of just being human, living in this very wild time that we're alive and still kicking and finding our ways, and we have all this technology and all this access to still staying in the container of our essence. And hopefully you're here to lead more from that truth. So now the thigh's gonna turn in, draw into the belly, you're twisting here. So notice where that thigh is, you're gonna twist all the way over, draw into the belly, elbows to the earth, holy moly, and just opening up. We're getting into the psoas early. It's a little, maybe too deep, maybe it's too intense, you come here. But if you can, come to your elbows. Breathing. So, if you're just joining, then you may not know how important this part of the body is to me and in our practice, the space between our floating ribs and our trochanter. This is the energy of the viscera, our intuition, our gut, our creative potential and power. It's the energy of our soul. It's in the deep, dark depths of our being. It informs the way we experience and what goes on in our brain. So breathe into it. As you exhale, exhale out. Stretch that leg, right leg out first. Draw into the belly. Come up. You're going to push into the hand. Hips rise up. Arm sweeps by your ear just to clear that whole line out from your fingers all the way to the soles of your feet. Exhale, come all the way back. Knees come forward, okay? You're gonna wrap your arms, I'm rocking from sit bone to sit bone. You're gonna wrap your arms around your knees, hug into yourself, tiptoe your feet in, and then just lean back until your feet can come off the floor. You're holding on to your legs, your head's free. Draw into the belly and then just circle your ankles around. We're staying close to the earth today. Doesn't mean it'll be easy. We're just yielding. We're just yielding into that pull to nourish. Anytime I'm teaching and the moon is waning into a new crescent moon, the energy needs to be soft and slow. And by the way, it's so powerful. So moving around, now you're going to bring your hands to your knees. Elbows are gonna go wide, maybe interlace the fingers, maybe not. Draw into the belly, shoulders draw into the heart center, lift through the chest. Don't take the legs straight out, but do bring the palms together over the crown of your head. This is the potential. You have to believe in yourself that you can gain this strength. Maybe just start here and feeling the muscles of the back body supporting you. You're gonna tremor, you're gonna shake, keep hugging the knees together, keep drawing the belly in, keep drawing the shoulders in. Smile, soften the forehead. Big full breath in and a full breath out. Wiggle your toes, palms are pushing together. Feel the lift of the heart, the back of the chest as well. One more breath in. And then exhale, bring your hands back to your knees, hug your knees in. Wrap your arms the best you can. It's kind of like a child's pose energy or lying on your back, hugging your knees into your chest, but we're vertical, okay? And in that vertical energy, we're just really receiving the attunement to our beliefs, okay? And then we're gonna exhale, bring the feet to the earth, knees are gonna go to the right, okay? Hold on to that left ankle, draw the knee in, you're gonna stretch the leg back. If you can, the heel can stay up, try to get the knee down. Draw into the belly, you're gonna lengthen out, so the ribs draw, and you're gonna lengthen out to create space again here, but not collapsing here. Watch the ribs moving back. So holding onto the foot, pull in, draw in, shoulders come into the back. We're not taking the elbow to the floor today. We're keeping the knee down, drawing into the core, shoulders in. If you do thigh stretches all the time, you're not gonna feel this immensely. So work your core more, draw these ribs in more, really tend to this diamond energy between your heart and your pubic bone and your hip points and the sides of the waist, okay? And then as you exhale, you're gonna free your foot. Your hands are gonna come forward, you're gonna lift the back knee up, open the knee out to the side. Now, this may be too much, so maybe just stay here and you can rock forward and back. Otherwise, tuck the toes, right knee lifts, and just swing the right knee back and forth. Okay, we're getting into that hip, clearing it out. And then you're gonna draw the knee forward, pigeon pose all the way to the earth. Elbows to the thighs. I keep saying that. I wonder what elbows to the thighs means. I think it's the universe saying we need to do fierce pose today. Pull the knee, energy of the legs together, draw into the core. You're gonna bend that back, left leg, lift into the belly, move your left elbow in front of the right knee, reach back. Elbows bend, the hips are gonna turn. So you gotta spin the belly to the left, draw the heel in towards your sit bone, not the right hip, the left hip. Push into that left arm, lots of lift in the core, and then stretch the chest out. Draw the outer right hip back. Deep full breath in, and a deep full breath out. And then exhale, free the foot. Inhale the left leg up, draw into your core. Your right leg's gonna lift up, the knee's gonna bend, stay strong through that left side, and then bring that right leg through 3 circles, just 3. If you're popping and cracking like I am, welcome to the club. Getting rid of the stuff that inhibits, that limits us, that keeps us in the chronic patterns that inhibit our ability to be true. Right foot comes forward if it hasn't. Bend the left knee, draw into the belly, hips stretch back. Deep breath in, lift into that core, even the pelvis out, soften the heart. And then exhale, lunge forward, knee to the earth. Pull into your center. Hands come to the knee, arms sweep up. Hold that energy in. So pull into the midline. Think about this space here. Ribs are drawing down and in. hips are anchoring towards the earth. So your inner thigh has to go back, your outer hips wrap in, the back of the heart is lifting, hands come overhead in the gesture that you care for. Full breath in, and then here's this heart opener that's available to you. Full breath out, elbows pulled to the midline, shoulders drawn. What are you praying for? What are you believing in? What's that future vision that you can lunge into and open your heart to and lean back into the energy that's unseen that's supporting you? You can feel it, I know you can, so trust in it. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come all the way out. Hands to the earth. Lift the back knee up. Pivot. Quarter turn to the long edge of the mat. Bow, fold, and just release. Stay connected to your inner lines, right? We're not trying to pull the rib cage. We're not trying to pull our head up our butt. We're actually trying to hug the ribs in, clear through the inner thighs. Feel a greater connection to the heart. Inhale, find length. Heel toe the feet towards the middle. And then come all the way into Malasana. And rock your hips. Sway from side to side. Find that length. Be steady. Be still. Elbows to your thighs. No fierce pose. This was it. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Hands touch the earth, hips come to the ground, feet come to the center, arms wrap around. Oh, that was nice and rhyming, right? Be a poet. If you're like, how do I believe? Find time this weekend to beautify your space. Doesn't mean you have to go shopping, but you can write poetry, turn on music, light candles, dust, open the blinds. Find time that you can really allow that light in, even though it's a little cloudy. It is here at least. So here we are, we're here. You can stay right here. You can bring your hands wide, shoulders are drawing in, belly's lifting, heart's lifting. If you need to circle the ankles, circle them. Pull into that center. So the knees are still bent, hands can come overhead. Elbows are bent, shoulder, you're gonna drop down, okay? So we gotta pull into that core and rise up. It's gonna get harder each time we do it, right? We're just swimming through the stormy waters of life right now. And maybe life is good. Maybe it's starting to make sense. Breathing in. So gather the evidence of how it's working out versus negating what's available to you. And then exhale, hands here. Hug the arms in. Wrap around. Breathe into that back body. And then feet come to the earth. They sweep over to the right. You're gonna find that length. Hold on to that ankle, right? So the knee, hip, rib, armpit, ear. This whole line here is in the same space. We're connected, right? So the sternum, the pubic bone, the sides of the body, they create that diamond energy that we can draw into. Hold on to the foot, and then just leaning. You're twisting slightly, you're internally rotating the leg. You have that thigh stretch. Maybe you feel it in the quads. Push the knee towards the earth. If you don't feel supported through the pelvic floor, continue to lift into the core. Believe in the fact that even if you can't feel it, you know something is happening, and you can trust in the nourishment you're offering, the deeper layers of yourself, because you are making the space for grace. You are allowing for the connection. And then as you exhale, free the foot. Hands are going to come down. You've got to shift, tuck the right toes, pause, slow down so you can line yourself up. Hands under your shoulders, draw to the core, back knee lift. Once you're there, just sweep. Okay, just sweep the legs side to side. Maybe not. It's just clearing the hips. And then you're going to come forward, pigeon, all the way down to the earth. So we're not just dropped and dumped out. This drives me crazy. I know there's purpose to it, but this isn't how life works. We're making space for grace. When we do this, we're actually agitating certain areas. There's just certain areas are over expanding and other areas are so contracted that blood can't flow. So keep the pelvis centered and neutral. Draw in, you gotta hug those legs towards each other. Lift into the core, lengthen the spine. You're gonna bend the knee. And then walk that right elbow to the left knee. Draw that left outer hip back. Keep drawing in. And then you reach for the foot. Lift through the belly. It's gonna tilt just like mine is. So you have to realign and believe in that alignment. Stay lifted, extend, and open. The chances are that you're going to drop right here. At least that's my pattern. So fill it up and into it. And then as you exhale, you're going to free the foot. Hands come back to the center. Inch the knee in. Draw into the core. Knee lifts, pull in. Left leg lifts up. Open the hips. Set it free all the way out through your toes. Stay connected to the soul line of the body. And then square it off. Knee to your heart. 3 big circles. Oh, yeah. And then step the foot through to a lunge. Knee comes to the earth. So we're going to come into that lunge. Draw into the core. Hand comes in. Find that lift. Even the pelvis out. It's always going to split. I'm just telling you. Doesn't matter how many hours of training you've done or practice you've done. It's just going to. Because you've lived more than you've practiced. And that's just where the answers reside. They reside in our experiences. So feel the connection. Gesture of your arms that supports you. Shoulders are drawing in, hugging in towards that midline. Lift that energy up from behind the heart. As you're lunging forward, the heart is opening. 5 breaths here. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Back knee's gonna lift. Bend that knee. Level out the hips. Draw into the core. I can't remember if we did this on the other side or not. And then lunge forward, pivot. Long edge of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Pour forward the energy into that future vision for you. That intention that's going to carry you. Bow into the expression that honors you and supports you. And then inhale, find length in the spine. Bend the knees. Heel toe the feet closer in. We're going to go into Malasana again. So for me, I'm actually going to bring my feet all the way together because I can keep my heels on the floor. All right, so find the one that works for you as you come into your squat. Heels on the earth, toes are light, core is lifted, spine is long. And then you're going to exhale completely. Hands touch the earth. Come up to a standing forward bend. So adjust your feet Arms are wide, relax the neck and jaw. Bow in. Inhale, find length. Heel toe the feet apart. All the way wide. All the way out, just like you're gonna do a wide-legged forward bend. Find your fingertips, bend the knees, draw into your core. Move the hips around if you need to, right? We're getting into a lot of the junk that's in our trunk. Turn the right foot out, elbow to the thigh. If you need to, bend the knee, get more connected to your inner thighs. Pull that energy in to the core, shoulders to your back. Soften the rib cage. Find that length, that whole side line. Bring the hand back behind the head if you want, or bring the hand to the top. This has been my more preferred one because I can get the length out the back body as well. Lunge into that front knee. Push into that back heel. And then exhale, straighten the front leg. Hand comes to the shin or a block or the earth. Draw in. Feel the thighs moving back with the outer hips hugging in. The core engaged. Soften the rib cage. Again, what happens a lot is we spill out here. We completely disconnect from our truth. So even if our truth is that we have injuries, we're healing, it's okay. Continue the healing journey by staying conscious and believing in your vitality, believing in that future. Hand can come behind the head or to the top of the head. Find that length, open up, and as you feel the connection, then you can find the full expression the way that it serves you. One more breath. And then exhale, bend the knee. You're gonna flow back through the center. Pause in the middle, bow, release. Inhale, find length, pivot. So in this unseen energy, I'm talking about our angels and our spirit guides. Pivot all the way around, elbow to your thigh, bend the knee, push into the earth. That can help us stir the waters of consciousness. So side angle, so feel the connection, inner thigh, outer hip, core. Get the length. This arm's gonna pop forward, draw that shoulder blade in, relax the hand, lunge into it. Feel where the heart is. Hand behind the head or to the top of the head. Both shoulders are in, push into the feet, lunge deeper. And when you can start to learn the signs of the universe that's supporting you and guiding you, there are 2 books. One is by Barbara DeAngelis, Soul Shifts. And then there's another book by Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back. They're different reads, but they're talking about the same thing. Super powerful. And then from that expression, you're gonna straighten your front leg. And the morning dove is one of them for me. And the mockingbird has scared them away. But the morning doves, I can hear them right now. So it's just, when I hear them, when I see my different signs, it's affirmation of the beliefs. We have to collect the evidence of what we want to believe. So we have to be open to seeing it and receiving it. Allowing and yielding into that bigger connection of support. Just like wireless internet. You can't see it, but you know it's working. Shoulders are drawing in. Hand, find where you need it to go. And 5 breaths into your tricky triangle. Maybe the arms extend, maybe they don't. Big deep breath in and a big deep breath out. As you exhale, bend the knee, hand to the earth. This time, wide-legged forward bend. Fold all the way over. I told you I was going to stay wide. Bigger foundation, big respect of that foundation. Find your wide-legged forward bend in the way that supports you. If you're doing this at home, I'd rather you not do headstand for different reasons. We don't want that fire to over dry out the water and the energy of the hips, and we want to stay grounded. So if your ego is wanting to get the feet up off the floor, just check it. Say thanks for showing up, and then see if you can sit in that energy of the edge. Inhale, find length. We're going to bend the knees, heel, toe the feet in. And once the feet come in, all the way, yes, you knew it, into Malasana. Big breath in, big breath out. Say a prayer, call in on your strength, the guidance, grace. What can you take from the journey thus far? How can you take the seeds of wisdom and let them come with you as we shift? Move your hips over to the right. Here we are, this cheerleader pose again. This time we're just gonna bow over the right knee, soften into it, relax the head, neck, and jaw. So a practice like this, when we can pull back and yield, that's where we can actually connect to the wisdom of the experience. We can, my dad always was like, what's the lesson in this? There's always, not so much a lesson where the finger's being pointed out to you, but knowledge that can come forward because you've applied your intellect into the embodiment of your soul. And so we want to become conscious of it because guess what? It's influencing us whether we're aware or not. Exhale out completely, ground into the earth, draw into the belly. You're gonna stretch your left leg long, right knee's gonna lift. Shift the leg, you gotta bring your sit bone with you. Shift the foot all the way over. Find length in the spine here. Now check in with your alignment, your sit bones, because we're sitting on both of them again. The belly is drawing in, the spine's long, the knee is gonna come and stack. If this is too much to fold forward, I get it. So you're just gonna lean back, bend the knee, and feel a lift in the chest. Or perhaps double pigeon, and there's no way I can do it today. This is what my double pigeon, this is what Agni Stambhasana would look like for me. So it ain't accessible either. So maybe you stay here. Otherwise, the leg extends. Maybe you come into the shin bones being stacked, knee over ankle, ankle over knee, or you come into this half cow face pose or full cow face pose. Do the one that works for you. We're gonna find length. If your ankle's on your thigh and your knees bent, you can rock your hips from side to side. If you're stacked, you can stay upright. Wherever you are, I want you to consciously choose, not from the intellect, not from the frontal lobe, but leaning back into the back of the head, the back of the heart, the back of the chest, and then just being guided. Because when we believe, we can believe there's guidance available to us. And bow into the expression that's gonna serve and support you. Blocks can be beautiful. 5 breaths here, okay? Just marinating in the nectar, marinating in the vision. If you haven't done the marinating the vision practice, I recommend it. Great practice to do for this Pisces weekend. Exhale all the way out, ground into the earth, draw into the belly. Find length, rise up. You're gonna unravel. Left leg stretches out. Right foot comes in. Both hips come to the ground. Again, get to the soul part of the body, deep inside. Find length, find connection, allow for grace. Elbow to the thigh, shoulders to the back. Here's the elbow to the thigh, arm by your ear. So we're not trying to get the hand to the foot today unless you're just very bendy. But I really want us to feel more of this connection, of this undercurrent, this part here that, you know, I'm sure all of us have that extra COVID insulation. It's interesting, our bodies are holding on to it, so our systems feel safe. So don't be mean to it. Rather, appreciate that our bodies hold wisdom. Again, you can find the expression of the arm that supports you. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. So there's great power internally, but you're not overriding it to agitate the exterior. You're bringing the energy of beauty forward by honoring the beauty within. Believe in it. And you're gonna inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna do this one again. Left foot turns in. You gotta slide the right knee. And again, just feel that opening and that clearing through this whole left side line. And then bring the hips down. Knees come through the center. There's that little graceful move. Feet move over to the right. Lift up, fold over that left leg. So notice how I don't know left and right now. It is because we're getting out of thinking and we're moving into feeling, right? We're getting out of the logical space and that logic, that processing, that intellect can keep us from trusting and believing in the knowledge and the wisdom of what is unseen, but what is known. Exhale all the way out. Draw into the core. Inhale up. Glide that right leg out. And then you gotta lean into the right leg and bring your left knee with you. Okay? So you lean all the way to that right sit bone. Left sit bone comes in. Maybe the left foot steps over. Just ankle to the thigh, leaning back and just rocking the legs from side to side. Okay, maybe you come here and you do a half. Maybe you do, look, I mean, you guys, I used to force myself in here. There is nothing in my being that says this is a healthy decision. And you know what? So many teachers, and it's no teacher's fault because it's what their teachers taught them, is that you just have to get used to it. You got to get used to the wisdom. So come in, the deeper knowing. Now, the tricky part is, why are you not giving yourself permission to go there? Where is that coming from? What limited view of it. And it's, yes, my body could go there if I forced it, but I don't feel like forcing my knees into surgery or rehab any longer. So come into the expression of your soul, believe in it, believe in your innate attributes and abilities. Breathe in, find length, and then if you're gonna bow, bow. 5 breaths wherever you decide to engage. As you exhale, exhale out completely. Ground into the earth. Reconnect to the core. So you're initiating a movement from the core. You're initiating from the belief in yourself, okay? You're gonna rise up, lift up, unravel that leg all the way out. How did I do that? Sorry, I unraveled wrong. You need your right leg extended out, your left leg. I started thinking about very distant and past moments. And those past moments were just that remembrance of that transmission of energy that we had when we were in the company of one another, or however that's been. But believe it or not, you guys, this is the beauty of technology. The transmission is happening because I was very reluctant to doing this for so long because of the transmission of energy. It just lands differently. And it's landing in a way that we don't understand because we don't have the feedback. Think about it. I've been sitting in this room for almost a year, showing up the best of my ability twice a week to pretend and imagine that this is landing in the hands and in the bodies and the hearts and the souls of those that it can be of service. Obviously, I believe that it's working, even without comments, even without likes, even without tons of views, because I know even the tiniest little drop of nectar has a ripple effect into the world right now. So we have to trust in it. Oh my goodness, I had just had another, thank you. Another sweet guide of mine from the other side, that his sign just showed up. So here we are, we're gonna, both hips to the ground. Hip, rib cage, drawn to the core, find the length, right? Your elbow comes to your thigh. We're not trying to go all the way to the foot. We're grounding in. We're really helping nourish this part of ourselves. As we're there, shoulders come to the back. You want to feel, remember all that movement we did earlier, the internal rotation. So now we can open ourselves in. Feel the ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the throat, the hand to your head or behind your head. Breathing into it and out of it and just allowing the connection to be. What do you see in yourself when your eyes close? Believe it or not, all that you love and adore and actually are annoyed by or frustrated by sits within you. That seed of potential and how that flavor of your essence comes forward is your own brilliance. 2 more breaths. As you exhale, exhale all the way out. Left hand to the earth. Right foot turns in. Knees lift up, stretch up, just clear that hole. Right side, if you feel like your left side's shortening, move your hand more forward. And then come all the way seated. both legs come forward, and we're actually going to spin all the way around. I know, nothing fancy. We're going to come lying down to the ground, arms wrap around your legs, and or just hold on to your knees. 3 circles going counterclockwise, clearing out what energy is no longer serving you. And then 3 circles clockwise, calling in the blessings of the beliefs of the energy that's unseen. However you declare it and connect to it, it's available to you. And then come all the way back to the center. Knees open, hold on to your ankles or happy baby. Just, I don't want any tension in the jaw or the forehead. This is a practice that really pulls us out of the sympathetic. It's the dance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic, so we can really rest and restore. It is the tension that I hold. It's the seed I planted with the conjunction of Neptune and the Sun. That new cycle is that we will value the importance of retreating and restoring. Bring your feet to the earth. Adjust what needs to be adjusted. You can keep your feet wide, knees together, and put a block or something that you can hold without tensing, or just stretch your legs long. I want you to breathe so that your ribs melt towards the ground. The jaw is soft. There's space between your molars, upper and lower. I have all 4 of my wisdom teeth. Maybe that's why I can articulate all these nuggets for you. Feel the breath, feel the connection, and just ask your inner self, your inner soul, your inner highest energy, that highest light. What do you need to be reminded of so that you can believe in your potential? That you can find those limitations as the construct to expand into the benevolence and the abundance. That you too are a catalyst for beauty and grace. That the twinkle in your eye sparks the light in others. That you can lean back into the arms of the universe and feel safe, supported, and sustained. And then just allow yourself to breathe. Feel free to stretch your legs out long if you like. And just as you are, allow for a deep breath in, into that renewal, into that return, into that connection. Just as you are, reawaken to that restored brilliance that you believe in, maybe even just a smidgen more. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, let your head sway from side to side. Smile inwardly at all those that have loved you. Smile outwardly to all those you love. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a sweet little hug. And then return the feet to the earth. If your knees have been bent the whole time, stretch out long. You're going to yawn or sigh, roll over to one side. If you're extra sleepy or extra dreamy, respect that. There's nothing wrong with you. We're still healing. We're preparing. We're in this time to renew ourselves and nourish ourselves so that when we can really step forward and reconnect, we are so kind of nourished and saturated in love and connection and compassion and this ability to bring forward a new way of existing that is a radical affirmation of your own light and all the light that shines around you. And to that light that is calling us forward, we greet it, Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. From my heart to each of yours and all of yours, every bit, Namaste. Straight from my heart, from the depths of my being. Even if you're watching this and it's not the time of a new moon, it is for you energetically that you chose to engage with this at this time because there's a renewal for you. For me, just dancing with the rhythm of the moon is the way for me to stay grounded in the energy of my own soul's evolution. It may be different for you, but chances are, no matter where you are, there's a new cycle coming forward. At this very instant, as I'm sharing this live, we're actually closing a cycle. Isn't that wild timing? We're closing the lunar cycle in this energy of Pisces it's been an Aquarian cycle, which is a little off, but we're in this beginning of a new cycle. The full moon in Virgo's already happened. So what needs to be tended to was illuminated 2 weeks ago. And so now you can actually go, oh, now I can take that seed of wisdom that I believe is hungry to be transformed and rearranged and allow that intention to happen now. And there's something called a lunar gestation that will go for 2.5 years. So there's always these different layers. There's so many layers. And those layers are full of precious joy and benevolence and brilliance. So it's aligned energetically because it's just how it works. So no matter how you're watching this, when you're tuning in, is the sun and the moon and water energy, who knows? But you chose to tune in and become more aware of this greater nourishment to believe in the energy of your heart. So I thank you from the depths of my being for being on this journey with me and just, doing it the way we do it. And we'll keep doing it until I can't do it any longer. Which who knows when that will be, but right now, it peace. It's so funny, I never used that word, did I? Hope. Peaceful for sure, just much more settled. And the neurological part of the brain, when we get out of fight, flight, or freeze, and we get into the rest, restore, renew, we can return with so much more creative energy and insights and wisdom to help us navigate these waters of our life. Love you all so much, and I will see you again live here on Tuesday, Thursday, Eastern Time, and Facebook, or the recordings will be available on my YouTube channel. I just do YouTube. I giggle at YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber, but I know people aren't Facebookers, so you know, we have to adapt, and that's what we're doing. So, ciao, buon fortuna is a phrase you say in Italy when somebody's about to go on a journey. Buon fortuna. May the fortunes be good for you. May you really receive the vitality of life, the cosmic energy smiling down upon you, and feel the riches of the soils. Okay, buon fortuna. Ciao.